Hi, in my last video I wandered around Cat Street and some neighbouring areas and ended up here on the High Street. I'm just going to have a look at a possible but unlikely monument, as you might say, and then wander down the High Street again and then show something else that's of rather more significance. So I'm on St Mary's Passage, which gives onto the High Street south and to the Bodleian north and the Radcliffe camera. And I'm just going to mention a door. I see that I'm not the first person to have found out or been told about it. This is sometimes called the Narnia door, after C.S. Lewis's imaginary land, Narnia. And if you Google Narnia door Oxford, you will find some articles, some things saying that it was the inspiration for Narnia in his books. And the people who say this generally point at three features. One of them is this carving, which is supposed to resemble the lion Aslan, the Narnia's sort of, I think, symbolic equivalent to Christ. Another is the figures left and right of the door, which are said to be fawns. That's F-A-U-N, not F-A-W-N. Fawns as in the figure Tumnus in the books. And the third is the lamppost there, said to be inspiration for the lamppost that gets carried to the wood between the worlds in a fight. And then I think it gets carried into Narnia, doesn't it, as Narnia is being created and starts growing. Now, I've read several very plausible sounding articles that say that there is no evidence that C.S. Lewis ever intended this ever intended Narnia to be like this, or was inspired in any way by it. So I'm just going to say that people know this as the Narnia door, or some people know it as the Narnia door. You can see that it is obviously popular, presumably as the Narnia door, but it may actually have nothing to do with Narnia. It's just nice to look at. One of them I guarantee you never heard of. First one. Last time I passed an Oxford tourist guide was inviting us all to imagine that it was the 10th of December and we were stepping out into midnight gloom with the snow frosting gently on the ground and snowflakes in the air, and that C.S. Lewis, his nose blue with cold, was stepping out and saying, "Aha, Narnia!" Well, maybe or maybe not. Okay, so let me go on to the High Street and then round. Over in that direction, there's a shop, Sanders, selling antique prints and maps, which make nice presents. And then I haven't tried the shop next to it, but I think it is, from what I've heard, worth trying. It sells good quality coffee, both a cafe, as you can see from the tables outside, and doubtless ground coffee and coffee beans to take away. So that is worth trying, I'm sure. And on the other corner beyond is Shepherd and Woodward, which is one of the Oxford's old clothes shops. I'll do a separate feature on the history of the shop sometimes because it's quite interesting. This is where a lot of people buy academic dress, and a lot of other people buy underpants and socks and such like utility clothing, as well as jackets and ties and what have you. Having said that, I had quite a big problem with Shepherd and Woodward a few years ago because I bought some underwear. I think it was made by an Irish company called Vedonaire, and after about 4 months, huge holes started developing in it. Just as if it was sort of melting from the inside. So I took it back to Shepherd and Woodward and said, "Will you exchange it?" And they said no. No normal underwear, no would go like that. You must have been miswashing it. We'll have to take it and send it away to be laboratory tested. I couldn't get them to acknowledge the inconvenience of this or the unlikelihood that I was washing my underwear with anything that would cause it to melt, given that all my other clothing was okay. And one or two of the local clothes shop people I talked to said that they'd never come across any underwear doing anything like that, so they thought Shepherd Woodward was being very heavy-handed. In fact, Shepherd Woodward did say to me, "Well, it's business, we have to protect ourselves." So, not such a nice attitude. Okay, now walking east down the High Street.
In the middle of the jungle.
This is the other side of the University Church. That is the old Bank Hotel. It's nice for breakfast. I have to say that staying there is beyond my price range, so I don't actually know what it's like to be there.
No, it's underneath.
Pick out all the bits that.
This is All Souls, which I've showed in my Cat Street video from a side gate. That's University College. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jesus is wonderful.
I did ask him last time. He's very evangelistical and keeps telling me Jesus is wonderful, so I have to delete his voice from the soundtrack. This is another one of these horrible souvenir shops that I keep complaining about. Jewellery. I don't smoke, but I once ventured a box of one of these sets of cigars as recommended by the shop owner for somebody who does. And he said they made a very good present. Havana cigar specialists and a lot of auxiliary equipment. And probably more importantly to the average Oxfordite, this is where a lot of the buses go from, including the airport buses.
I am struggling. Like my looks.
Antiques and a cafe over there. I think the antiques one is a sort of franchise operation, so it has a lot of little independent dealerships, including at least one for books. Queen's Lane Coffee House, which claims to originate from 1654. And this is Queen's Lane. Which I'm just going to advance slowly up so that you can enjoy the view.
Вам понравится, а потом я вам покажу, куда идти к динозаврам, и вы уже можете самостоятельно сходить. Только осторожнее, здесь ездят велосипедисты и лестницы, да? Эта улица не менялась 700 лет свой вид. Они специально не чистят даже стены, чтобы выглядело по-старинно. Здесь часто снимаются старинные фильмы. с вами идем вот в этот колледж, он называется Новый колледж. Но он не то чтобы новый, он новый после первых 14 века. Там у нас учился еще один актер, Петра. Если хотите, можно в теньке идти. Я не могу понять, где он снимает, впереди или сзади себя, чтобы ему не мешать. Узнаете здание с другой стороны? Две башенки. Мы с вами изнутри колледжа фотографировали.
I wanted to look there, I think.
Yo vais contar su propósito de Mercedes, la primera que vais a contar es que ella se lo hace
Now this is New College Lane, as far as that, which is the back of New College, the other entrance being on Holywell Street, and then Queen's Lane from then to the High Street and the buses. It used to be possible to walk through new college to go in that door and out the other one, and that was a very useful route, but unfortunately they've blocked it. As I think is a social geographer, Danny Dorling, says the university has been steadily blocking off access routes to parts of the city, and that's one of them. They can get away with it now because not so many people walk. In the days before cars, it would have been much more unpopular. And this is something that I want to tell you about. Edmond Halley, the discoverer of Halley's comet, or to be more exact, the person who realised that various comets appearing at widely separate times in the sky were actually the same body. Now, I'm going to finish this video here because I think Halley deserves a separate one of his own. So I'll see you in a few minutes on a separate video. Bye.